The labeling theory provides a distinctively psychological approach that focuses on the role of social labeling in the development of crime and deviance. The theory assures that although deviant behaviors can initially stem from various causes and conditions, once individuals have been labeled or defined as deviant, they often face new problems that stem from the reactions of self and others to negative stereotype stigmas that is attached to the deviant labeling. The fight to keep bias from influencing law enforcement actions is as old as the Constitution itself. For much of our history, bias policing focused on fear instead of actual facts that someone has committed a crime. The causes of deviance are located in social institutions of the deviant or in the social factors which prompt his or her actions. Social groups create deviance by making the rules whose infraction constitutes deviance, and by applying those rules to particular people and labeling them as outsiders. I've noticed that once you have been defined as deviant, it's kind of hard to get a hold on resources, making resources hard for people of lower class and more prevalent for people of the upper class. From this viewpoint, deviance is not a quality of the act a person commits, rather than a consequence of application by others of rules and sanctions to an offender. The deviant is one who the label has successfully been applied to. Deviant behavior is behavior that people so label. Conflict theories who focus on power relations in society suggest that the lifestyles considered deviant by political and economic elites are often defined as illegal. According to this approach, norms and laws are established for the benefit of those in power and do not reflect any absolute standard of right or wrong. The activities of poor and lower class income individuals are more likely to be defined as criminal than those of people from the middle and up and lower class. Power differentials are also evident in how victims of crime are treated. Much like riots of the past, such as the Montgomery bus boycott 1995, which was held amongst our fellow ancestors, which was a civil rights protest during which African Americans protest segregated seating and refused to ride the bus in Montgomery. People in a position of power claim that violence solves nothing. However, it seems that violence is the only way change can be prevailed. In America today, I see the term deviance as a cry out for help in the eyes of the people to get the government officials' attention. How can an individual of power label an individual of the lower class in which they've positioned and formulated laws around as deviant or outlaws? Laws ensure that individuals at the bottom of the social class structure do not infringe on the property or threaten the safety of those at the top. Laws that prohibit rape, murder, and armed robbery protect not only the middle class, but the upper class. But people of lower class are the people who are mostly frightened or mostly intrigued by such violent acts. In the justice process, the societal labeling of individuals as criminals in determination and degree occurs through the process of sentencing. Police in particular make route use of stereotypes as gestures, language, attire, and race. As part of a larger and self-preservation defense mechanism, these factors government officials recognize as prelude to violence. Seelock and Simpson 1998 explained that people as social actors are assigned roles according to types, and that each type carries a certain socially approved script or behaviors that are similarly defined persons are expected to follow. Government officials apply the constructs not only in decisions of whom to stop and search, but how they sentence and what type of plea an individual is receiving. Racial profiling is an act that relies on race, ethnicity, and national origin rather than information that leads the police to a particular individual who has been identified as being or